All right, let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons here for a little bit. Look, obviously, as we've worked our way through the offseason, we've seen what the Falcons have done, the holes they've addressed this offseason, and now all attention is heading towards the NFL draft. And look, this time of the year, you get a lot of opinions, usually coming out of left and right field for virtually every team. Everyone's got a different opinion. Everyone's got a different mindset, except involving the Atlanta Falcons. It looks like there's a consensus brewing about what the Falcons are going to do with the draft, and I honestly believe that consensus is formed when teams and analysts and insiders all agree. It seems we're all heading in the direction. Let's get into the article highlighting this, and we'll talk about what it means on the other side. This piece is from Sports Talk ATL. The Falcons need to add a consistent pass rusher, and depending on a potential rookie seems dangerous. The single most popular player mocked to the Falcons is Dallas Turner. Bucky Brooks of NFL.com, great insider, great connections to Atlanta. Bruce Feldman of The Athletic, great reporter, insider, knows a lot of stuff. Jordan Reed of ESPN, Mike Tannenbaum of ESPN, they're okay, good, not great. But Field Yates and Matt Miller, they are really plugged in. Ben Standig of The Athletic, he's a smart guy. And Mel Kiper, of course, he's one of the all-time gurus. And Brad Spielberger from PFF, obviously an analytics guy, all have Turner going to Atlanta at number 8. So when you have analytics, when you have insiders, when you have beat reporters, when you have draftniks, all agreeing that the Atlanta Falcons are going to draft Dallas Turner, and everyone knows that the Falcons need an edge rusher, it seems to me they wouldn't come to that consensus unless there actually is a lot of energy and a lot of momentum for the Falcons drafting Dallas Turner, and I think it would be a great pickup for the Atlanta Falcons. And I know, Mize, you've got some interesting insights as to why. But first, Atlanta fans, in the comment section below, look, right now I think everyone can kind of agree the Falcons have made up their mind. They're going to go towards Dallas Turner unless something shocking happens. But let's play devil's advocate here for a little bit. Let's say the Falcons surprise everyone and don't get Turner. Who do you think they pick up if they don't get Dallas Turner? Do they go a different edge rusher? Do they maybe go quarterback and surprise some people? Let us know what you think the Falcons will do if they don't pick up the guy everyone seems to think they're going to draft in Dallas Turner, and let us know in the comments section below. All right, Miles, but let me turn it over to you now. What do you think of the Atlanta Falcons picking up Turner and the impact it'll have on this football team?
Yeah, Nick, I think there's kind of like 3 different points I want to touch on why I think Dallas Turner, A, has been mocked to the Falcons so much, and B, will be a good fit for this team. First off, if we look at the Atlanta Falcons, one thing you know that they need for sure is pass rush help. They have not had a double-digit sack artist, to call it that, since 2016. That was former first-rounder Vic Beasley, who got 15.5 sacks. It's been quite a long time, 8 years, since Atlanta has had somebody hit the double-digit sack mark, which, you know, that's a sign of a good pass rush, a sign of a good defense, is being able to have guys get up there on sacks. That means you're getting pressure and you're converting on that pressure as well. And I think a guy like Dallas Turner is just a guy to do that because he hit double-digit sacks last season, 11 sacks. He had 33 hurries. I think this is a guy who has great pass rush grades. He had an overall pass rush grade last season of an 89.3. Fantastic pass rush grade. I think this would be a great pickup for Atlanta in that aspect. Now, the other thing you got to realize is I think it's a good fit for Dallas Turner, mainly because Coach Raheem Morris is so good at utilizing players' strengths in his defense and giving them looks that give them the best time to convert. And you look at that, Dallas Turner, he's a freak athletically. He ran a 4.4 40, he had a 40.5-inch vertical, 10-foot 7-inch broad jump. This guy can really explode off the edge, and he's done the best at that in a wide 9 alignment. Raheem Morris has also set up young defenders, just like Byron Young, and going back a little bit further, Leonard Floyd, also in this his time at the Rams, was able to set these guys up in that wide 9 alignment, allowing them to get off of the edge and do some really special things. Young last year, Byron Young got 8 sacks last year out of that wide stance. So I think this is going to be a really great sign for Dallas Turner, that he will be put in a situation where he is utilized to the best. And finally, not just pass rush. This is a guy who has excelled in college at dropping into coverage as well from that Sam linebacker position. I think he's going to be really great. He had an 81 coverage grade last season at Alabama. He is not a liability in coverage if he is to drop back, say, with a tight end or whoever he's going to drop back in with in coverage. I think This just shows this guy is very versatile. He's not a one-trick pony. He can kind of do it all, and he's going to add to Atlanta's biggest deficiency, the pass rush, and Atlanta's new head coach, Raheem Morris, will be able to utilize him to the best of his ability as well.
I think you hit on something, really a couple things very important there, but let's talk about his coverage skills. This is according to Steve Palazzo over at PFF. Very interesting kind of tweet here. He said, Raheem Morris's Rams defense had 355 snaps last year, where at least one edge defender dropped into coverage. That was most of the National Football League. The most coverage snaps among top edge defenders coming out of the draft, Dallas Turner has 238 for Alabama. The next closest was 55. Right, so this is a guy who is versatile, who has experience to play in a scheme very similar to what Raheem Morris wants to do with the Falcons. And again, you see all these mock drafts, you see all these analysts, you see all these insiders, you see common sense, you see the reports here. I think the Falcons are about to make just the perfect addition here in terms of drafting Dallas Turner. I think he's the right guy to do it. You brought up his production. I love production in college football as a sign that you're going to be a great player in the National Football League. And look, when you look at the Falcons pass rush, they finished 27th last year in the entire NFL, according to PFF. That's not going to get it done. The highest ranking playoff team, the highest ranking team in terms of pass rush grade to make the playoffs last year was the Detroit Lions at 19. You are not going to make the playoffs. You're not going to be a good football team if you're not at least average at rushing the passer. You got to at least be average. You can't be terrible. Last year, the Falcons were terrible. I think the addition of Dallas Turner, the direction they're leaning in, definitely one player turns them from being terrible at the pass rush to at least average. And once they get there, you have better quarterback play, right? You've got an offensive strategy that I think is really sound. You already had a lot of really talented young players on both sides of the ball. Good offensive line, right? You're starting to see the pieces really come together. Very winnable division. Kind of a weak NFC overall. We're starting to see some pieces come together in Atlanta. We're seeing smart move after smart move after smart move, part of an overarching strategy that's really setting up the Falcons to have a lot of success. And I think them selecting Dallas Turner in the first round would just be another step in that direction for them returning to the postseason.